What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge.
In a world swelling with chaos, where the ground seems to shift beneath our feet, it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed. But amidst the turmoil, there's a beacon of strength, a path to a brighter tomorrow. This year, the 5F conference is back, bigger and better. Join us from Friday, October 4 to Sunday, October 6 for 3 days of transformative power. Experience inspiring sessions with renowned speakers like Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Reverend Hakeem Ogunira, Sawole Abayomi, and Reverend Bayo Asolo. Don't miss out on this life-changing event. Register now at 5fconference.tsfchurch.com and be part of something extraordinary.
Hello and welcome to Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. Once again, this beautiful Monday evening, it's 8 p.m. West African time today, and I'm honored to be your regular host on this program where we share information for your health transformation. For what we need is not more medication, but more education, for the best prescription is knowledge. To be informed is to be transformed. To be uninformed is to be deformed. We've been looking at your food and your health. Last week, we spoke on coconut oil. Today, I'll be talking about the coconut itself, the whole coconut fruit, and then some other stuff. Previous to that, we had looked at so many vegetables, nuts, and seeds and their health potentials. Now we are beginning to move from the vegetables, the seeds, the nuts, to the oils, and to the fruits, and hopefully we move on to herbs, how all of these things contribute to our wellness, both bodily and as well as our minds. Today, let me start with a passage from the Holy Bible, Revelation 22, verses 1 and 2, and I'd like to read from the New International Version, NIV. Now, then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb, down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. Wow. So God has created so many things in nature for our blessing, for food, for healing. And that's why when we started this series, we spoke about the fact that food has prophylactic application, therapeutic application, geriatric application, cosmetic value as well. And the Bible says here that the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. And we've talked about vegetables a lot for healing. And then it says the fruit of the trees are also there, okay? The tree produces fruits and produces leaves. We've talked about leaves. Today, we will start talking about fruits. All right. But before we go on to that, let me say that God, the maker of the heavens and the earth, has graciously blessed us with fruits, vegetables, and other food items to nourish and to heal our bodies. And for those who may not already know, fruits are generally body cleansers. Never forget that. Fruits are generally body cleansers. And I want you to mark my words. I'm not saying that fruits cannot do other things outside of cleansing, but they are primarily body cleansers. Of course, they have secondary and maybe tertiary benefits as well. So fruits are generally body cleansers, while vegetables are generally or primarily body nourishers. So while vegetables nourish the body, fruits cleanse the body. Now, does it mean that fruits don't nourish the body as well? Of course they do. But mark my words, I said they are primarily cleansers. And then they can as well nourish because they also have nutrients. Now, vegetables are also primarily body nourishers. Does that mean they don't cleanse? Of course, they also cleanse, but they are primarily body nourishers. That distinction I needed to make. So, every single fruit or vegetable that God has given to us in nature is for a definite purpose. You know, just recently, somebody was in my office and we were talking about a particular plant that everybody regards as, you know, a very notorious plant out there. And I told him, I said, look, it's just that we don't yet know how to derive benefits from that plant. It does not mean that that plant does not have its own benefit. I believe God never created anything that didn't have a definite purpose. We are the ones that we have to search and research to find out the benefits that we can derive from what God has created. All right. So how do we know what each fruit or vegetable is meant to address, particularly in relation to our health? Well, God has given us scientific knowledge to be able to analyze, the nutritive values of various foods and what have you. We have scientists of various shades, pharmacists, particularly those in the area of pharmacognosy, biochemists, all right, nutritionists, taxonomists, agricultural scientists, biologists, farmers, herbalists, yeah. I know some people will raise an eyebrow right there and their eyes will almost pop out of their head when I said herbalists. Who are herbalists? Those who know the medicinal uses of herbs as opposed to witch doctors. All right? I'm not talking about witch doctors. I'm talking about herbalists. We call them native doctors in Nigeria. Witch doctors are called native doctors. I'm not talking about native doctors. I'm not talking about witch doctors. I'm talking about those who understand the medicinal uses of herbs. All right? And there are people who earn degrees, first degree, second degree, even PhD in herbology. All right? Studying how we can deploy herbs to solve human health challenges. All right? So God has given us all of these scientists, naturopaths, homeopaths, osteopaths, chiropractors, even practitioners of Oriental medicine, all right, and a host of other, scientists and professionals who are skilled in using scientific methods and tools to analyze our foods in order to determine what they contain and how they may be used to improve our health. God has given us knowledge. He's given us understanding. Meanwhile, God has also, designed for us in nature things that can serve as pointers. I call those God's signature in nature. God's signature in nature. So that the ordinary person who may not be a medical doctor, who may not be a pharmacist, who may not be a biochemist, who may not be a nutritionist, who may not be any of those professionals, all right, who had gone to school to earn a degree or postgraduate degree. Regular people who may never have even gone to school ever in their lives, who may never even be able to read or write. God has left his signature in nature for such ordinary people on the street to at least be able to see and discern, as long as they have eyes to see and they possess native intelligence, so they are able to figure out things to an extent. And that's why God's signature exists in nature. I personally believe that God has made adequate provisions for our well-being here on earth. He has made both supernatural and natural provisions for our healing and our health. Now, there is divine healing, which is supernatural healing. There is also natural remedies, which are bound in nature to address virtually all of our health challenges. That's why I personally believe there are no incurable diseases. If we haven't found the cure, that's good to admit, but that the cure does not exist, I do not accept that. Yeah, there are no incurable diseases. There are only incurable people. People who either believe that they cannot be cured, there's no remedy out there, and they are not ready, they are not willing to try. Then they cannot be cured. Or those who, are set in their ways. They believe that it must be this way or no other way. Then they may not be helped. There are no incurable diseases. There are only incurable people. All right? Now, the remedies that God has given to us to deal with various challenges in the area of our health, they come in the form of foods, such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, oils, roots, you name them, even from animals. All right? We only need to take a cursory look at nature to discover the amazing farmacy that God has graciously and generously set up for our benefits. And when I say farmacy, my spelling is F-A-R-M-A-C-Y. F-A-R, not P-H-A-R. F-A-R-M-A-C-Y. Farmacy. God has given us our gardens where medicinal plants grow. And if only we knew how to utilize these medicinal plants, we can benefit from what they have to offer. So once we discover their health benefits, we deploy them. In the previous episode, I've shared the ABCD code where the colors, the architectural design, the shape, and even the seasons that these farm produce are available indicate so much to us as to how to be deployed. So now, since we talked about coconut oil last week, today I want to talk about the coconut as a fruit itself, the entire coconut fruit as a whole. Now, the most abundant nutrient in coconut, of course, is the fat, that is the oil, because that makes up about 1/3 of its mature weight. When the coconut is fully mature and you weigh it, the entire mature weight of that coconut, about 1/3 of that weight is essentially oil. That's why coconut oil is key. But when we come back from this short break, I'll be talking to you more about the things that you can find in the whole coconut fruit and the benefits that they confer to us as far as health is concerned. In fact, the entire coconut tree, the coconut plant, from the root to the stem, to the leaves, to the fruit, the nuts, the shell, everything about the coconut tree, there is nothing that goes to waste. Everything serves a purpose for human benefit, either for health or for making stuff that can be useful in the house. Foot mats, or even for strengthening in building construction for reinforcement, all kinds of different uses for the coconut plant. Then we're going to be talking about the coconut, not just the coconut oil that I spoke about last week, but the coconut itself, which incidentally is one of my best fruits, and it grows a lot in the tropics, particularly in West Africa. I was born in Ghana. I now live in Nigeria, and it's abundant in both Ghana and Nigeria and the entire West African coastline. I mean, almost every country on the West African coastline have abundant coconut growing, either by the coastline or even in the mainland, because it's a tropical fruit. Okay, when I was born in Ghana, when I was small, when I was young, they would harvest the coconut before it's fully matured, and we would just, cut off the top and insert a straw and just drink coconut water. My coconut water is an amazing drink, rich in minerals. It's in fact natural multi-mineral, a natural multi-mineral drink. And those of us who are in West Africa, we just enjoy it almost for free I mean, you can just grow a coconut plant in your backyard in Nigeria, in Ghana, in West Africa. It just grows at your backyard. Just pluck the fruits and just punch, and you just saw coconut water. When we come back from this short break, we will continue. I'm already salivating. We're talking about coconut. See you again soon. Don't go away.
In a world swelling with chaos, where the ground seems to shift beneath our feet, it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed. But amidst the turmoil, there's a beacon of strength, a path to a brighter tomorrow. This year, the 5F Conference is back, bigger and better. Join us from Friday, October 4 to Sunday, October 6 for 3 days of transformative power. Experience inspiring sessions with renowned speakers like Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Reverend Hakeem Ogunira, Mr. Wale Abayomi, and Reverend Bayo Asolo. Don't miss out on this life-changing event. Register now at 5fconference.tsfchurch.com and be part of something extraordinary.
Welcome back. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. Your food and your health is our theme. And today, we are continuing the conversation we started last week regarding coconut. Last week, we dealt with coconut oil, what it doesn't do, the damage it doesn't cause into the body that people think it causes. It doesn't cause those damages. And then the benefits that it confers. We looked at that last week. Today, we are looking at the whole coconut. And we're saying that the most abundant nutrient in coconut is fat, because fat or oil makes up about 1/3 of the mature weight of a coconut. Now, coconut is also rich in magnesium, which is a very useful mineral in relieving and preventing asthma, preventing loss of bone density, osteoporosis, in relieving musculoskeletal pain, in helping to address, brittle hair and brittle nails. Magnesium is useful in all of these areas, and coconut is rich in magnesium. Now, coconut water, as I mentioned before we went on that short break, is almost as rich in minerals, as the pulp itself, but it contains less fat. The coconut water doesn't contain as much fat as the coconut pulp or the flesh itself. Now, coconuts are one of creation's most amazing treasures. Trust me, one of creation's most amazing treasures. Is rich in electrolytes, particularly the coconut water. Okay, coconut water was even used as an emergency replacement for blood plasma during World War II. Can you believe that? That's right. Coconut water transfused straight into the veins during World War II. When people were injured during the war and they were bleeding and they lost blood and all of that, they transfused them with coconut water straight into their veins to replace blood plasma. That's how powerful and wonderful coconut can be. Now, coconut is highly nutritious, rich in fiber, rich in vitamins, rich in minerals. Actually, coconut can be classified as a functional food. Why do I say so? Because it provides many health benefits beyond its nutritional content. Right. You need to do a lot of studies to be able to see this. Coconut oil is a functional food. Now, according to a website that I visited, the website of the Coconut Research Center, that website said, and I quote, it says, in traditional medicine around the world, coconut is used to treat a wide variety of health problems, including the following. It's used in treating abscesses, asthma, baldness, bronchitis, bruises, burns, that is burns, colds, constipation, cough, dropsy, dysentery, earache, fever, flu, gingivitis, even gonorrhea, irregular or painful menstruation, jaundice, kidney stones, even lice LICE, to address malnutrition, nausea, rash on the skin, scabies, scurvy, skin infections, sore throat, swelling, syphilis, toothache, tuberculosis, tumors, typhoid, ulcers, upset stomach, weakness, and wounds. All of these are there at the Coconut Research Center website. That was where I found all of these things, okay? Now, while coconut possesses many health benefits due to the minerals, the various phytochemicals present in it, because of the fiber content and the nutritional content it possesses, it is the oil that also makes it, a truly remarkable food and medicine. And that's why I dedicated the whole of last week talking about coconut oil. Like, what I'm saying is that the mineral content, the fiber content, all of them offer their own remarkable health benefits. But the principal content of coconut that marks it out, stands it out, is the oil, coconut oil. But the coconut water is also another one. As I traveled around the world, I found that coconut water is now being packaged and sold in supermarkets, in grocery stores around the world, particularly in the Western world. In Europe, in North America, you see coconut water packaged, just like we package orange juice and apple juice and mango juice and what have you, and sell them in the supermarket. You also find coconut water. I said, well, in Africa, we don't package coconut water and sell them in packets or packages, in boxes and in cartons. No, we don't do that. In Africa, what we do is we take the whole coconut, we just cut off the head and put our straw inside, and we suck the water just straight like that from the tree right into the body. That's how we take coconut water here. Of course, I'm not saying we cannot package it. That's value addition, and that's one of those things that Africa, doesn't do much. We produce raw materials. We don't participate in the rest of the value chain. And so we just produce the raw materials. The rest of the world will come and cut away the raw materials and then do value addition. Quite often, unfortunately and sadly, they will send them back to us again to buy at very high cost, whereas they bought the raw materials from us, for peanuts, which is very unfortunate. But I thank God that things are beginning to change. God is beginning to raise leaders for African countries, African nations that are beginning to address these very fundamental issues. And I pray that in the very shortest possible time, we'll be able to get to that place where we can begin to add value to our own raw materials and then export them to the rest of the world as finished products to boost our GDP and help us raise, foreign exchange to boost our economy, to develop our own environment. Africa, in my view, will be the most beautiful continent if the continent will harness and, take advantage of the resources available and develop. If Africa develops, which other continent can boast of what we have in Africa? In my view, and I stand to be corrected, Africa is the richest continent in terms of deposits of resources that God has put on any continent. Than any other continent, Africa has the richest deposit of resources, mineral resources, and even human resources. Africa has the youngest population of all continents in the world. About 60% of the population of Africa are youths under 25. About 60% under the age of 25. Very young, very energetic, very vibrant population. We just need to have direction and focus and good leadership to help Africa to develop and become a beautiful continent that everybody else from around the world will want to visit Africa for holiday, for excursion, and for business. Wow, we will get there by the special grace of God. Now, so what I'm saying is that the coconut is a great resource that God has blessed Africa with. Now, coconut was once mistakenly believed to be unhealthy because of its high saturated fat content, which I have debunked last week. It is now known that the fat in coconut oil is unique and is different from almost all other fats and possesses many health-giving properties. It is now gaining long overdue recognition as a nutritious, healthy food. So as I have always posited, the belief that people have that the fat or the oil in coconut is unhealthy is wrongly placed. Right now, I thank God that, coconut and coconut oil are now gaining their long overdue recognition as nutritious health food. Now, the saturated fat, once again, that is present in coconut, unlike most other sources of saturated fat that are made up of long-chain fatty acids, the saturated fat in coconut oil is made up of medium-chain fatty acids. And these are easier for the body to break down and use as energy. They actually also help to increase our metabolic rate, as I emphasized and underscored last week. Now, the health benefits of coconut oil I started to mention last week, but let me reiterate again, include for hair care, for skin care, for stress relief, for actually maintaining normal cholesterol levels, for weight loss, for boosting or bolstering immunity, to aid proper digestion and metabolism, to relieve, kidney stones and kidney problems, to address heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, even viral infections, including, I'm not saying it will cure, but it can actually help HIV positive individuals. Because of the monolaurine, the lauricidine that is present in coconut oil, it can also be beneficial for those who are dealing with cancer because they need a lot of energy, because they always feel tired and fatigued. And so adding 1 or 2 tablespoonfuls coconut oil to your smoothie as a cancer patient can help to boost your energy. It's good for dental care. I have recommended it to so many people to do oil pulling. Oil pulling. You take coconut oil, when you wake up first thing in the morning, you take 1 tablespoonful of coconut oil, you pour it into your mouth, and you just swish it around for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Before you brush your teeth, as soon as you wake up, you put 1 tablespoonful of coconut oil in your mouth and just swish it around and switch it around. It mops up and cleans up the entire buccal cavity, your entire mouth, cleans up everything. And then after 20 minutes, you spew it out. Don't swallow. And don't spit it into your wash hand basin or into your WC, because it can congeal, it can actually block, your zinc. So what you do is you spit it into some, toilet roll or tissue, and then throw it into your trash bin. All right? That's what we call oil pulling. Now, if you want to take it even a step further, you get D-limonene. D-limonene. Letter D dash Limonene. D-limonene. Now, D-limonene is actually the oil extract from the skin of lemon. The skin of lemon. When you are peeling your lemon, there is this oil, that's kind of sprays out of the skin. That's D-limonene. And that oil extract is now put in a gel capsule. The same way you have your fish oil in a gel capsule. You have D-limonene. You can go to any store. Those in North America, you can go to any of those big stores, and Walmart and what have you, or any health store for that matter, and buy D-limonene. It's available there. It's like fish oil, but it's the oil from the skin of citrus fruits, lemon, lime, oranges, what have you. Now, the one for lemon in particular is the one that I'm recommending, D-limonene. So what you do is to take your oil pulling a step further. When you wake up in the morning, you put a tablespoonful of coconut oil in your mouth. Then you take 1 gel capsule of D-limonene, and bite that capsule. You bite it with your teeth, and then you squeeze the oil in the capsule into the coconut oil in your mouth. You squeeze it into the coconut oil in your mouth. So the D-limonene oil mixes with the coconut oil in your mouth. And then you switch it around like that for 20 minutes. Then you spit it out. Make it every morning routine. It will help to mop up all gum infections, gingivitis. Many oral issues can resolve just by doing that every day, every single day as a morning routine. No side effect to the best of my knowledge. and it costs peanuts. Just get extra virgin coconut oil, get D-limonene, and you are good to go. And that can help to prevent so many dental issues. Now, I'm not saying if there's a hole in your tooth that the hole will be automatically filled. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay? It is going to actually help to, clean out infections because coconut oil has antimicrobial action. All right? So it can help with dental care. It can help with bone strength, coconut oil. Now, these benefits of coconut oil can be attributed to the presence of lauric acid, lauricidin, monolaurine, and what have you, capric acid, caprylic acid, and its properties that I have mentioned: antimicrobial property, antioxidant property, antifungal property, antiviral property, antibacterial property, soothing property. I mean, coconut oil is fantastic. Now, I mentioned last week a book that I read by Dr. Fife. Now, I got the correct name of the author now. It's Dr. Bruce Fife. I said last week Dr. F.F. Bruce. Then I said Dr. Fife. It's actually Dr. Bruce Fife. F-I-F-E, not F-I-V-E. F-I-F-E. He's a naturopathic doctor. And he said coconut oil is the healthiest oil on the earth, according to him. And according to that book. And Dr. Joseph McCullough, a doctor of osteopathy, also weighed in on that. He said coconut oil is the healthiest oil that you can use. Now, so use coconut oil, in various ways. You can use it for your oil-based cooking needs and baking needs, very stable under heat, unlike unsaturated fats. And if you want to see a more elaborate list of the health benefits of coconut as a whole and coconut oil in particular, then I recommend that you visit the website of coconutresearchcenter.org, and it will blow your mind. www.coconutresearchcenter.org. The center is spelled the American way, the North American way, C-E-N-T-E-R, not the British way. The British spelling for center is C-E-N-T-R-E. No, that's not the spelling for that website. That website is center, C-E-N-T-E-R. So coconutresearchcenter.org. You will find an elaborate list of the health benefits of coconut in that particular website. So you can educate yourself further. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how far we can go today as we look at our food and our health. We started out with looking at vegetables, and then we looked at seeds and nuts, and then we looked at coconut oil, and today we capped it up with the whole coconut as a fruit. Okay, like I said, the entire coconut tree is useful. Now, the stem can be used as, pillars in small constructions of huts and what have you. The fiber of the stem, as well as the fiber that is peeled off the back of the fruit, can be used for mats, floor mats, and what have you. It can be used for different kinds of things, products here and there. The leaves, the long center of the leaves are used to make certain kinds of brooms, sometimes decorations. I mean, I have seen many products made from the coconut, same way with the palm tree. The palm tree continues to bear fruit even into old age, and the palm tree is evergreen, whether it is raining season or dry season, whether it is whatever the weather in the tropics, the palm tree, the coconut tree is never affected by the weather. It's always standing strong. And that shows you the properties it possesses when it also comes to what it can offer to us by way of our health. So let's learn how to incorporate coconut and coconut oil in particular into our daily living for our health benefits. And let's remember to appreciate God for giving us the coconut. And indeed, all the vegetables, the fruits, the seeds, the nuts, the herbs for our own benefits. Thank you once again for joining me on Exposé with Tony Akinyemi today. What we need is not more medication, but more education. For the best prescription is knowledge. I see you on the same platform, same time, 8 p.m. West African time on both YouTube and Facebook next week, God willing. Thank you. I love you, and I pray for you that your week is blessed tremendously. Bye.
In a world swelling with chaos, where the ground seems to shift beneath our feet, it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed. But amidst the turmoil, there's a beacon of strength, a path to a brighter tomorrow. This year, the 5F Conference is back, bigger and better. Join us from Friday, October 4 to Sunday, October 6 for 3 days of transformative power. Experience inspiring sessions with renowned speakers like Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Reverend Hakeem Ogunira, Mr. Wale Abayomi, and Reverend Bayo Asolo. Don't miss out on this life-changing event. Register now at 5fconference.tsfchurch.com and be part of something extraordinary.